Welcome. What is halal? What is haram? Can you make hand sanitizer halal way? For Muslims, haram means prohibited and halal stands for permissible. For instance, pork and alcohol consumption are haram and hence considered forbidden for a Muslim. Now, it has emerged that even preventive measure for coronavirus menace is not free of religious segregation. In Islam, only alcohol consumption is prohibited, not its use as medicine. So any hand sanitizer that provides protection against viruses and germs should be welcomed. It is perfectly okay for a Muslim to use normal hand sanitizer, and there is no need to search for an alcohol-free hand sanitizer. Halal. Halal, also spelled halal, is an Arabic word that translates to permissible or lawful into English. In the Quran, the word halal is contrasted with haram. This binary opposition was elaborated into a more complex classification known as the 5 decisions: mandatory, recommended, neutral, reprehensible, and forbidden. Islamic jurists disagree on whether the term halal covers the first 2 or the first 4 of these categories. In recent times, Islamic movements seeking to mobilize the masses and authors writing for a popular audience have emphasized the simpler distinction of halal and haram. The term halal is particularly associated with Islamic dietary laws, and especially meat processed and prepared in accordance with those requirements. Haram. Haram is an Arabic term meaning forbidden. 471. This may refer to either something sacred to which access is forbidden to the people who are not in a state of purity or who are not initiated into the sacred knowledge, or to an evil, thus sinful action that is forbidden to be done. The term also denotes something set aside, thus being the Arabic equivalent of the Hebrew concept kados, and the concept of seisr in Roman law and religion. In Islamic jurisprudence, haram is used to refer to any act that is forbidden by Allah, and is one of 5 Islamic commandments that define the morality of human action. Acts that are haram are typically prohibited in the religious texts of the Quran, and the Sunnah category of haram is the highest status of prohibition. If something is considered haram, it remains prohibited no matter how good the intention is or how honorable the purpose is. A haram is converted into a gravitational force on the Day of Judgment and placed on mizan. Views of different madhabs can vary significantly regarding what is or is not haram. The religious term haram, based on the Quran, is applied to actions such as cursing, fornication, murder, and disrespecting your parents. Policies such as riba. Certain food and drink, such as pork and alcohol. Some all objects, foods, or actions that are normally halal, but under some conditions become haram. For example, halal food and drinks at noontime during Ramadan, or a cow or another halal animal that is not slaughtered in the Islamic way and in the name of Allah. Certain inaction, such as abandoning the salah. In the Quran, the words halal and haram are the usual terms used in the Quran to designate the categories of lawful or allowed and unlawful or forbidden. In the Quran, the root halal denotes lawfulness and may also indicate exiting the ritual state of a pilgrim and entering a profane state. In both these senses, it has an opposite meaning to that conveyed by the root hrm. In a literal sense, the root halal may refer to dissolution or alighting. Lawfulness is usually indicated in the Quran by means of the verb ahalla, with God as the stated or implied subject. Foods. Several food companies offer halal processed foods and products, including halal foie gras, spring rolls, chicken nuggets, ravioli, lasagna, pizza, and baby food. Halal ready meals are a growing consumer market for Muslims in Britain and America and are offered by an increasing number of retailers. Vegetarian cuisine is halal if it does not contain alcohol. The most common example of haram food is pork. While pork is the only meat that categorically may not be consumed by Muslims, other foods not in a state of purity are also considered haram. The criteria for non-pork items include their source, the cause of the animal's death, and how it was processed. Muslims must also ensure that all foods, as well as non-food items like cosmetics and pharmaceuticals, are halal. Frequently, these products contain animal byproducts or other ingredients that are not permissible for Muslims to eat or use on their bodies. Foods which are not considered halal for Muslims to consume include blood and intoxicants such as alcoholic beverages. A Muslim who would otherwise starve to death is allowed to eat non-halal food if there is no halal food available. During airplane flights, Muslims will usually order kosher food to assure their chosen dish will not have any pork ingredients. Genetically modified organisms. Muslim scholars and Sharia experts supported the idea and process of biotechnology because it has a great impact for the well-being of mankind. The event titled Agricultural Innovation and Agri-Biotechnology in Islamic Sharia was organized by Farming Future Bangladesh at Krishabid Institute Bangladesh in Dhaka, where muftis and Sharia experts discussed about GM crops. Sheikh Ahmadullah, chairman of As-Sunnah Foundation, said, Islamic Sharia approves all worldly acts aimed at human good. Therefore, agricultural innovations are considered halal. Speaking further, Islamic researcher Maulana Hedayatullah said, the Islamic clerics have great support for the idea and process of biotechnology because it has a great impact for the well-being of mankind. Certification. Globally, halal food certification has been criticized by anti-halal lobby groups and individuals using social media. Critics have argued that the practice results in added costs. A requirement to officially certify intrinsically halal foods leads to consumers subsidizing a particular religious belief. Australian Federation of Islamic Council spokesman Kees Artrad told a journalist in July 2014 that this was an attempt to exploit anti-Muslim sentiments. Food and intoxicants. In Islam, prohibitions on illegal acts or objects are observed by Muslims in accordance to their obedience to the Quranic commands. In Islamic law, dietary prohibitions are said to help with the understanding of divine will. Regarding haram meat, Muslims are prohibited from consuming flowing blood. Meats that are considered haram, such as pork, dog, cat, monkey, or any other haram animals, can only be considered lawful in emergencies when a person is facing starvation and his life has to be saved through the consumption of this meat. However, necessity does not exist if the society possesses excess food. Haram foods do not become permissible when a person is in a society with excess food because the Islamic community is like a single body supporting its members and should offer halal foods to the fellow Muslim. Certain meats are deemed haram if the animal is not properly slaughtered. A halal slaughter involves a sharp knife that the animal does not see before it is slaughtered. The animal must be well rested and fed before the slaughtering. And the slaughtering may not take place in front of other animals. This preparation is done in order to serve the Muslim population. The proper slaughtering process involves a single cut across the throat, quick and as painless for the animal as possible. During the slaughtering process, Allah's name should be recited by saying Bismillah in order to take the animal's life to meet the lawful need of food. Animals that are slaughtered in a name other than Allah are prohibited because this goes against the belief in the oneness of Allah. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.